Mr. X with the Extreme Channel here. This is Star Wars Episode 18. No, it's not the 18th sequel to the original Star Wars movie. It is our 18th statue from Star Wars that we are reviewing. And if you're a stalker, I know you're thinking, Mr. X, you already reviewed Sideshow's Kylo Ren premium format in Episode 3. That's right. But I'm here because there is now a balance to the Force. And I don't mean Kylo's character. I don't mean the dark side versus the good side. Did they call it the light side of the Force? I mean, we have a licensed piece, and now there is custom added to it. What am I talking about? This is what I'm talking about.
I'll show you the dark side.
Mr. X with the Extreme Channel. As I said in the intro, this is kind of a different review. It's also going to be very short, now what she said, because I am reviewing a piece I've already reviewed before, and we're not going to review anything from the neck down. If you want to check that out, go check out in the description. I have a link to that review. But this is Sideshow's premium format Kylo Ren statue. So this is a quarter scale statue that Sideshow made. And Sideshow made it, and it only had one portrait. It had the Kylo Ren mask. Here's a close-up of it. Which initially was okay by me because I love Kylo Ren's mask. To me, the mask and the voice, both in him and Vader, are what really make them scary and badass. I think it's a quintessential part of the character of the dark side, and their normal human faces, I assume they're humans, aren't, they're not that scary. They're not really part of the character. However, as we've seen Kylo Ren's character develop over episodes 8 and 9, 7 and 8, episode 9 hasn't been released yet, you see him without the mask, and he shows a lot of expression, and I love the development of his character. I'm a big fan. You can see the internal struggle that Adam Driver, I think that's his last name, goes back and forth. And just very, very cool. So I like having both options. And someone started a custom commission. They said, hey, what if we make an unmasked portrait? Would you guys be interested? And there was a very small handful of us that were like, absolutely. We're Star Wars fans. Realistically, this is a very affordable character. So let's add something to the next level for it. And I think there was less than 20 of us. It's not exactly like an ES commission. It's just a side job that we're doing. And the sculpt started, the deposit started, the paint is done, and now we finally have them in hand. It's extremely exciting. You've probably seen some posted over the last few days. And cost on it, I don't remember. I was looking, and my phone was being a little bitch. It just wouldn't load. It was pissing me off. I'm still pissed about that. Damn robots are supposed to be our servants. And it was pricey, though. It was somewhere between $150 and $300, if I recall correctly, because it was such a low commission and not many pieces were made. But I went ahead and purchased it. And a couple cool things with this guy. We're going to do some close-ups and review it, the paint and sculpt. We are not going to use the extreme scale because it's kind of fruitless, if you will. But just to kind of let you know, I got to be really careful with it here. Typically on a commission like this, there are no magnets that are installed with it. So it came with the magnets that we have to glue in, which I've done many times before. Tiny little extremely strong magnets. So I'm going to do that later, but as we look at close-ups, it's going to be very gentle because he's not completely secured in. Surely there's a "that's what she said" joke on it. But the piece looks fantastic. One of the things I like about it is you can display him with the hood down right here, and we'll get some more close-ups in a minute, or with the hood up. So he still has some of that darkness, mysteriousness to him. And another great thing about displaying it like that is you can actually display his original portrait somewhere near or on the base. So his helmet fell to the ground. Here's a picture I don't know if this is how exactly I'm going to have it in the future, but another neat aspect to it. And one of the things as a group we kind of debated is which Kylo is this going to be, which episode? And specifically, the big difficulty was with the scar. Should we have him with the scar or not? And the majority of the group, myself included, yes, absolutely. I'm not sure why other people voted, but my vote was because it looks cooler, having a big ass scar. Of course, in real life, I wouldn't want one, but you know what I mean. But the piece is great. I think the likeness to the actor is fantastic. The paint apps, the sculpt, very, very good. The one thing I'm not sold on yet is the expression. But I don't know what kind of expression I'd want him to have. Would you want him to be a little whiny boy like he is sometimes, filled with rage, quivering lip? So I like the stoic expression they gave him. So let's start looking at some close-ups. Here you see that stoic expression. One neat thing when you do an expression like this, it can be interpreted in a number of ways. I always, if I judge something, I try and give a better alternative, but I really don't have one. So this probably was the best way to go. But let's start looking at his hair. Great job on his hair. As you know, he has kind of the flowing, bunched up hair. They did a great job. The layering looks really good considering it's all black. Very difficult to do, and it doesn't take away too much considering his whole outfit is black. It still looks really good with this statue. The hairstyle, I think, is perfect. You typically see him with a lot of messed up hair in the movie, but this looks really good. And now let's move to his portrait. First, I want to look at the skin tones. I think they're perfect. Really good job on the skin tones, the pinks, and the different flesh colors in there. The paint is, I don't want to say impeccable, but it's pretty damn close. And then look around his scar. His scar is done extremely well. It's almost, it looks a little too deep, so it's more fresh. Like he just attained it, got it. And you see a few moles throughout his face. And I assume this is accurate. I've never looked at his face that closely. Closest thing I have to him, I do have an autographed lightsaber from him. Moving to the nose, I think the sculpt on the nose is perfect. He does have a larger nose in real life, and I think they captured that well. Then look around his mouth here. Really good job. I like the expression and the lines that are in there. There's almost a tiny 5 o'clock shadow, but it might be the actual shadow from his nose, from his big honker. The lips, really well done. They look like real lips, a little dry and some detail in them. And then let's move up to his eyes, which I think are the best part. The eyebrows fully sculpted. I think the size of them is perfect. You can even see some hair strands. The print on this is really good. And when I say print, I mean when the machine actually prints it out. Then take a look at his eyes. Very large pupils. I don't know if that's accurate or not, but it looks really good. It fits well with the size of the statue. And then the colors in there are fantastic. He kind of has some bags under his eyes, but he's probably tired from, debating whether he's going to be a good guy or a bad guy. Really well done. And to kind of give you a comparison on the size, is the size accurate? Here it is right here. Here's another picture of them together to kind of give you a comparison. So the size is perfect. I don't know how he gets his beautiful locks inside the helmet, but it looks really good. And an Easter egg, not really an Easter egg, but a pleasant surprise. I opened up the box a few days ago on a live unboxing. I took out the head and I put the box aside because I knew the magnets were in there. So today I was going through it, and there's an unpainted head in there as well. So I messaged the guy who kind of led this commission, and I was actually messaging him during the photos. So I'm sure he's watching. Thanks a lot. And I mean, that sounded like an asshole. Thanks. I do mean thanks a lot. It's an awesome project. But he said he put an extra head in there, unpainted head, as a bonus, as a thank you to everybody. So clearly a guy that's not in it for the profit. I don't even think he made any profit. It was just a joint project between everybody. Even if he did, he deserved it. He put in a lot of work. So with this, what I'm going to do, I've been dying to do this for a long time. I'm going to try and paint it. I got a roller in the garage. and I'm just going to go to town. No, I'm kidding. I really am going to try and paint it. I'm not an artist. However, I've ordered so many kits. I want to see how dangerous I can be. So wish me luck. I'm not going to do it today, but definitely a future project. Going to start with the hair, obviously, but I'm really excited. Can you tell? But those are my thoughts on this custom Kylo Ren unmasked portrait. Very excited. I think it takes the statue to the next level. Clearly, with such a low ES of it, it's very unique, and definitely going to keep them in the collection now. Star Wars, I have decided down the road. I've already decided kind of my end game with statues, which I'm not going to say on this video, but Star Wars will be in my end game because huge Star Wars fan. Look at my lineage. So really appreciate you guys watching. Let me know your thoughts on this head. Let me know what pieces you have that you have another custom head for that are awesome. Some off the top of my head is my Thanos on Throne. I have a custom head for that. It's fantastic. And I can't think of any more off the top of my head, but I'm sure I have some. Thanks for watching, guys. If you're new to the channel, go ahead and hit a like and a subscribe. There's cool shit like this all the time, both licensed and unlicensed. Thanks a lot. Take care.